Welcome to this new video where we're going to tell you about Barcelona's possible starting 11 for matchday number 4 against Valencia, in the match that will be played this coming Sunday at the Johan Cruyff. A match that Barça today will bring you with the best commentary and the best pre-match coverage on the whole internet. We'll be waiting for you this Sunday. The match starts at 9 post-meridian and will be live on this YouTube channel from 7, live and direct with Irna on screen, to tell you about Barca's starting 11 and all the highlights before the match. That's why I'm asking you to stay until the end of this video. Hit the like button, subscribe, and leave me a comment. What do you think about the team I'm going to put out there to try to win the 3 points against Valencia? Valencia is looking strong, so be careful. It won't be easy. Let's check out the potential starting 11 in this video. Here we go. Well, family, Barça versus Valencia. Barça is hosting the Che team, a Che team that's currently 9th in the standings, and Barça is currently in 4th place. Barça comes from a draw after playing that match against Rayo Vallecano with bad feelings, but now the international break has arrived. And therefore now I think there has been time for Hansi Flick's staff to analyze those mistakes or improvements that need to be made in the team to try to find that balance we've been talking about these past weeks in defense, especially on a positional level, so that the team isn't so broken, that they're closer together, that they press better, and obviously that the defensive line finds its confidence again to know how to act in every play, in every action, with this very attractive, very vertical, and very aggressive playing system of Hansi Flick, which has given us so much. And therefore, patience and the best is yet to come. Let's see. First of all, how is Barça coming into this and how is Valencia coming into this? Barça, as I said, comes from a 1-1 draw against Rayo Vallecano, a 2-3 win over Levante, and also a victory in the first match day of the league against Mallorca. Barça will have some important absences for this match. Why? Because we have players like Ter Stegen, Captain Alejandro Valde, Gabi, and Frenkie de Jong in the infirmary. He will be doubtful until the last minute, really. We won't know until the very last day if Frenkie will be able to play or not. But after coming back from the national team, he had to leave the training camp with the Netherlands. It seems, and also taking into account the schedule, which I'm about to tell you, that Flick shouldn't take any risks. That's what I think. And if Frenkie has any discomfort, then the best thing is to give him some rest. Because, thank God, we have a bench so we can line up other players who will do just as well. Or even better, or better than Frenkie himself. Also, for example, Araujo and Rafinha joined in the last few hours, so they're just making it for the match. They'll be available, but for long trips with many kilometers and hours of travel. I'll tell you about some changes now. Want to know what's next? Check the schedule. As I said, for this match, we have at 9 p.m. this Sunday the 14th at the Johan Cruyff, the Barça-Valencia match next week. Attention coolers, because the Champions League is coming, the first match day of this league phase, in which Barca will play in England at St. James's Park against Newcastle. Next week we debut in the Champions League, so get ready for the excitement to begin. Next weekend we will also play at home. Remember, we will play against Getafe, also at the same time, 9 post-meridian. And the following week, on September 25th, we will play again on Thursday. There will be a midweek match day in the Esport League this week. We'll visit Oviedo's stronghold and head to the Carlos Tartiere. After 20 years, Barça returns to Oviedo to play that big match against Oviedo at 9:30 at night. We'll end September at home again, and hopefully it will be ready by then. This match at Camp Nou, returning to Spoti on September 28th at 9 at night. Busy schedule. There are 5 Barça matches in 15 days. Pay attention to the rotations. They're crucial. That's what's happening with Barça. Now let's discuss Valencia. Carlos Corberan's team, who just beat Getafe 3-0, lost 1-0 to Salsuna, and drew 1-1 in the opening match against Real Sociedad. A Valencia side that, in principle, doesn't have any suspended or injured players. They have their full squad back and all players available to play against Barça. Valencia stayed up comfortably last season with this coach, and as I said, I think they have good vibes, right? They've re-energized Che supporters, especially with homegrown players, and with a few new signings, they're competing really well. Valencia now has an important schedule ahead, also because, look, they play against Barça this Sunday, Then they have a match against Atletico de Bilbao. They go to their stadium. Espanyol will host Lopez. And finally, this September, they will go to Montilivi to play against Girona. Valencia is a team whose style of play I personally like a lot. And I think it's also a very direct team, which is very dangerous on the counterattack. And this is where Barça is failing. So be careful with this team because they have fast and skilled players. Like Javi Guerra, Diego Lopez, Danjuma, and Luis Rioja, they're all key players. Let's see the team we line up for the match. Fantasy players, and now we'll build ours. The fantasy players line up this 11 from Barça and Valencia. In goal, Joan Garcia. In defense, Koundé, Eric Kouarsi, Gerard Martin. In midfield, Casado, Pedri, Dani Olmo. And up front, Rafinha, Ferran, and Lamine Jamal. This is the fantasy football player lineup. For Valencia, Aguirre Zalaba lines up with Fulquier, Diakavi, Tarrega, Copete, and Gala, forming a three-man defense and two wingbacks, Fulquier and Gala. Double pivot with Santa Maria and Javi Guerra. Up front, Rioja on right wing, Diego Lopez on left, Danjuma up top. Good team from Valencia, honestly, and good team from Barça. This is the fantasy starting 11, and now I'm going to tell you which one I think will be used this Sunday. Taking this image on the screen into account, I'm going to agree with you on some things. In goal, we keep Joan Garcia. In defense, I totally agree with this backline. With Koundé, Eric Kouarsi, Gerard Martin, why? First, because Valde is injured and Gerard Martin will definitely play there in defense. I think, as I said before, the long trip, all those miles that Araujo traveled with Uruguay, I think that's going to make the Uruguayan not start. Eric Garcia, who rested since he didn't join the national team, will likely start. Pau Cubarsí didn't start recently and hasn't really played with Spain, so I think this will be Barça's defense. So it would be Joan Garcia, Jules Koundé, Eric Kouarsi, and Gerard Martin. The whole field. I also agree with the base, which would be Casado and Pedri in midfield. I totally agree. And in the attacking midfield, here I am going to make a change. The fantasy people have Dani Olmo as a starter. They give him a 50%, and I'm going to go with the other player, which is Fermin Lopez, who has had some minutes with Spain, but not many. And therefore, I think he's in better shape and also fresher than the player from Terrassa. Therefore, I would line up Casado, Pedri, and Fermin. And for the forward position on the right, without a doubt, I would line up Lamine Jamal up front, Ferran Torres, and on the left wing, I would give Rafinha a rest at the start and put Marcus Rashford in the starting lineup, who has played with England, has also scored, and is confident. So my team would be Joan Garcia, Koundé, Eric Kouarsi, and Gerard Martin. Right. Pedri, Fermin Lopez, and up front Lamine Jamal, Marcus Rashford, and Ferran Torres. This is the potential starting 11 I would line up for the match against Valencia on Sunday. Join us here on Barça Hoy's YouTube channel. Share your thoughts on the starting 11 in the comments. And of course, smash the like button and share it with your fellow Barça fans. Barça Hoy, Barça today, Barça always.